Greetings one and all, this is Rhythm Works and welcome to my channel, and today I'm taking an affectionate look back on EA Sports Fight Night Round 4. Now there are many among you who are quick to say and who will say that they've followed the series for a very long time. Now that's all well and good, but for me I'm just taking my standpoint of the series from when I first knew about it. Now admittedly I've played boxing games before on different consoles, and they were arcadey by nature. So my search for a boxing game that was more, hardcore was kind of stalled because of the fact of my career and my interest in movies. Because when I finish a studio session, I would just kick back and watch, a couple of movies in a row. I'm a big movie buff. So gaming wasn't really a mainstay of my leisure time. But after purchasing the PS3 fat version, which I still use today, which is still there. I've just bumped up the hard drive in there and it still works like a charm. I came across Fight Night Round 4, and believe me, that basically warmed up my console from then on. My likes on the game: number one, the Total Punch control, which did not involve buttons whatsoever. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me in relation to the buttons, but for me, the buttons equated to the arcadey boxing games that I played before. And I needed to play a game which had an element of skill to it. So playing this game was like, just jumping in the deep end as far as, one's skill set was concerned. So that was all well and good for me, because when I started playing the games and working with the sticks, you got no choice but to work with the sticks, and that was that. The second thing I liked about the game was the block control, the 2-button block control, where you would use the right analog stick, and I do believe it's the R1 button, where you would use those and determine where you would block, either a high block or a low block. And you can't throw a punch from the block. You'd have to release one to throw a block. You'd have to release one to throw a punch, sorry. And I loved that too, because the way the controls were set, it's almost like you feel as though you're doing it. I can't explain it in any other way. It just felt intuitive in that way. The third thing I loved about the game was actually the corner game. Now, a lot of people might disagree with that too, but I think it was one's way of actually implementing the cornermen's influence in the game. Whereas you would score points for your performance in the round, and you would take the points and administer to each trait, each factor of your boxer that is deemed fit and necessary to use, like your strength and your stamina. So, and depending on how much you give to each determines how much the fight can turn around, and I think that in essence was a very good part of the game. What else was there? Yeah, the buttons, the block, and the corner game. Yeah, and basically that was the pros of the game. The dislikes of the game for me was very few, in my opinion. I fought in heavyweight division for this game. I didn't even touch middleweight. It was just strictly heavyweight. But I noticed, a lot of people, they chose Tyson. And at that point, it was called hyper punching. It wasn't called spamming. Everybody called it hyper punching those days. And I was trying to figure out what was hyper punching, what was that about? But that's an earlier version of spamming that we know today. And everybody would choose Tyson. Everybody would choose Tyson. But yeah, it's a game that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed playing, and it's a game that can, teach round 6 a thing or two, because I think with Champion, I think the developers pandered too much to a lot of the people that were whinging about certain things that wasn't really even necessary in the game to be changed. You know, and I think if you're making a boxing game, there's got to be an element of skill that one has to use, is that needs to have a steeper learning curve in order to master. Because one thing that gamers try to do in a lot of games these days is to find exploits. That's probably the first thing they try to do, is just find exploits and find ways of cheating the game, not actually trying to work towards getting to a level in the game, which is sad, but you know, it's true, and it's something that, you know, that you won't get rid of. You just have to stem the flow by creating a very steep learning curve, and then you will notice that the more serious hardcore gamers of the genre will stick around, and the casual ones will leave it, you know, and go on to something else. So that was the reason why I kind of came back to Fight Night Round 4, to give the comparisons between that game and Champion and my hopes for the next installment. I really, really want there to be solely sticks in the next game. I really do. Now, I can hear the groans and the booing and all of that, but I don't care. That's just my view. I think sticks are the way to go. You just have to just learn to use the sticks properly. That's all there is to it. Now, I'm going to big up a moderator from the Fight Night forums. His name is Cash. Now, if you ever get a chance, check out his videos. His name is spelled C45H. I repeat, C45H. Now, he fights on the Xbox console, and it's only sticks he uses. He does not use buttons in the slightest. And watching his fights are like sheer poetry in motion. It's a joy to behold. It really is. So check out YouTube if you got the chance, and check out his fights. Beautiful, 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 beautiful pieces of pugilism at its finest. So yeah, so there we have it. An intro to some nostalgic gameplay in Fight Night Round 4. So I'll see you in the menu. Remember this, guys? Mos Def. What a mighty intro. I just had to leave the intro running, you know what I mean? You know, what a way to get you hyped to play in the game, for real. Okay, here we are at the start menu. This is gonna be weird because obviously the whole control system, it's there but it's not there, so to speak. So I'm just gonna go into a fight now, a fight now game. Yeah, another thing that that I noticed, that the games took a long time to load for me on this. Yeah, the music's off at the minute. Let me see. What game modes did they have? They had, oh yeah, Legacy mode, Ring Rivalries, I mean, that was cool. The ring rivalry was cool, but you know, you could have basically done that with a friend as well. So it wasn't really that necessary. And the old school rules I kind of liked as well, you know. That brought an element of old school pugilism to the whole thing. Yeah, that was cool. Like that. Wow, memories are flooding back. Okay. Create boxer gallery. Yeah, these are all my boxes. These are the created ones, license created. Yeah, Junior Wilson, welcome to Jamrock. Those are my fighters across all the weights. Barack Obama, Major Payne, Rocky, Tommy Tiny Lister, David Haye, who wasn't in there, who wasn't a licensed fighter included, but you know, looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. Yes, and I added some foolish ones in there just to basically see, you know. Yeah, so that was that. Okay, so let's get into the action. Okay. Marvin Hagler. And I use Winky. Okay, so let's go into this. Oh yeah, the haymakers. Oh yeah, I remember those. And the signature. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, the haymakers were arcade. I've got to admit. Yeah, they didn't need those signature punches. Yeah, that's an aspect of the game.
Good evening,
that I like. But then they improved that in Champion as well. Let me turn this down. Okay.
For tonight's main event, 12 rounds, middleweights going at it between Winky Wright and the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, it still looks good. Still looks good.
Winky Wright's focus is front and center as he makes his way to the ring right now.
I mean, admittedly, when Champion came out and I saw the graphics, it looked kind of gritty in comparison to these graphics. But I got used to it. A lot of people got used to it. And it just looked good after a while. I'm not going to go through the whole fight. I'm just going to go a couple of rounds. And I've literally picked this up after not playing it for quite a while. So you might get a chance to see a quick knockdown by the computer. Yeah, for me it was a marked improvement on round 3 by watching YouTube videos on the game.
Opening round here, scheduled for 12. How do you define consistency when you describe the fact that among this matchup you're looking for guys to be more consistent? Which guy's going to be more consistent? How do you define that?
Just in one area, when they get inside, for example.
Yeah, and as you can see,
every once in a while somebody takes a little bit of a flank.
I don't like using the HUD.
One guy's arm goes behind the other guy. I'm looking to see who keeps both hands free.
I don't like all that information on the screen, because when you actually go into a boxing ring yourself, you're not going to see a readout. Oh. Yeah, it does feel a bit sluggish. Wow.
Marvelous Marvin blocks that away. That was not well targeted by Hagler. protecting his head well with his guard. Reaching the halfway mark of this round.
Oh, a signature punch.
He may hit the floor. There's the headshot, but he parries it away. Wow! And a big punch puts him down.
Yes, this brings me back. It really does. It really does. Now, as an arcade section of the game,
So now a little bit of an
I don't have no problem with this. But when you're going online in a World Championship fight,
You know what's
it's
gonna
not
hurt him
needed.
and what he's working against right now, believe it or not. I know it'll make him survive in the end, but his competitive nature right
Haymaker.
now is to
This
get
haymaker?
even. And right now he's got to fight against that. He just hasn't survived. He's got to forget about winning this round.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little showboating by Winky Wright.
I'm trying to figure out the power punches again. Hold on.
Oh, look at that. You know you need space to punch. He
Oh, yeah?
realized that,
Okay.
so he pushes
Figured out what
his
that one
opponent.
was. Wow.
Last 10 seconds of this first round. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, he gets hit by a left hand that he had no clue on. End of the round. So he scores the knockdown.
Okay, look,
now
there.
gets back to his corner. Teddy, do you ever have to
So you have the chance for you to do it manually,
That's a really great point because a lot of times that
or
can
let the
be
computer
turning
do it.
point, but not for your guy that scored the knockdown, for the other guy. Because sometimes when you score a knockdown, you start to think it's going to be an easy
Okay,
night.
fix
And
my
you
damage.
forget what you knew when you came in. That
That's
wasn't
it.
gonna
Let's
be
leave
an
21
easy
points
night.
in there
You're gonna have to
to
bring
top
all
up
the
in
tools
future
out of
rounds.
the tool shed, and it's important to remember that.
blocks away that headshot.
See, I'm actually playing like I'm playing champion and using the same kind of controls and forgetting the controls system. You see?
Now he's using his head there. You see that? I think
That's what
the
happens
ref
when you use
missed it.
buttons.
It was April of 1985 when Marvin Hagler was able to take
Okay,
out
right,
Johnny
okay.
Hearns in one of the
So the power,
great
yeah,
action
power
fights
punches
in the history
is
of
the
sport.
trigger
In many ways, that
and the
encapsulates
stick
his entire
direction.
career,
Okay.
that one shining moment.
Well, in a lot of ways it's said because he was a fighter who never felt appreciated. You know, he understood where he came from. He went out there and took chances, he felt, with everybody. All these tough Philadelphia fighters that nobody else would fight. He fought everybody to work his way up. And he looked at other fighters, whether it was Hearns or Sugar Ray
Ooh.
Leonard, and these guys he felt were navigated. He felt that they were given things
Well, upon
in a
playing,
way on a silver platter.
definitely
And he had
the
to earn
movement
everything the hard way. And fighting a
in
guy of the
Champion
notoriety
has
and
improved a
talent
great
of
deal.
Tommy Hearns, to him,
It does feel a
his
bit
moment had
sluggish to
come.
play, in all honesty.
And coming upon the halfway mark of this
It's not something that I would come back to in a hurry. But just from a nostalgic, retrospective point of view, it's great to play again.
See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. Parries that punch away. A hook for you and a hook right back.
Oh,
Didn't see that. That was an intentional headbutt.
that wasn't intentional. I'm sorry. See? That's me using buttons. I mean, personally, I use buttons and sticks when I fight in Champion. I think a lot of people do, but I really want to get back into using sticks again and just get out of that habit of using buttons.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2. So it's the end of the round. And as both men head back to their respective corners.
Okay, 42, 33 to Hagler.
The culture of a corner and how guys.
Okay, so I'm going to play this.
What was always your philosophy in organizing and running?
Health.
Well, first of all, only one guy could be in charge.
Bring
That's
10.
the trainer. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. It has to be organized like anything else. And you
damage.
have to calm people. You only have 1 minute. Maybe by the time the fighter gets back, maybe it's 50
Yeah.
seconds.
Take away the damage.
You have to be
See?
efficient. You can't have guys that are excited.
That's what I
You have to
love
be able
about
to
the
control
corner
their
game.
emotions, just like the fighter does on the outside. And everyone has to know what their job is.
Oh. Now you see, if I didn't put anything on the damage, I'd probably get stunned. Ah, the block system is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful block system. I love it. I love the 2-button block system. No, guarantee I go into champion, all I'm going to see people do is,
What do you make of the fact that Marvin Hagler
see, pump blocking.
never went after
Like
what
that.
would have been a, I mean, huge
Oh.
jackpot of a rematch with Sugar Ray Leonard when he was so disgusted with the way the judges went into it.
I think it speaks of the makeup of the man. You know, he might not have been as fast as some fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard. He may not have been, you know, as pure in one area of power and talent as a Tommy Hearns, or of course that great kind of size that he had. But what really made him
Okay,
was
well, I think I've played enough now to feature all the moves and all the aspects of the game. So I'm just going to let him knock me out.
And a guy that's proud like that, a guy that's his strength, is that kind of character. That's a guy that just walks away from that. And I think he's showing you that.
Holy cow! Oh, and there you
Yeah.
go. Winky right on the canvas. He went down hard there.
I love the block. I love the block. The block feels really good to play.
3, 4, 5, 6,
And the corner game too. That's missing. That is really missing.
9, 10.
It's over. This fight is over.
Well, there you have it.
Hagler's gonna have
I
his
hope you
hand
enjoyed
raised
that
by way of
retrospective look at Fight Night Round 4 and my opinions on what can be taken from that and put into the latest installment. Have a blessed day, peeps. I'll catch you later.
Hagler is your winner by knockout.
2. By all means, please comment, rate, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching.